Welcome to the channel. I'm SpideyG09 and I hope you've had a marvelous day. Let's get started. Guys, I don't know about you, but I truly enjoy the hobby of action figure collecting, especially Marvel Legends and Spider-Man, X-Men, Wolverine. Well, about 4 years ago, I began to think about, man, I want to start collecting something again. I want to get back into a hobby. And I want that hobby to have, I wanted to be able to, really enjoy it. I didn't want to buy like watches and things like that or collect coins. And it hit me. You love Marvel, you love superheroes, you love Spider-Man and Wolverine, and you love action figures as a kid. What if you started collecting those again? And I heard about this moving sale that was going on, and that this guy had a ton of toys in his house. And he had to move quickly, so he's unloading the entire house. When I say a ton of toys, like the way my entertainment center is here, that was every room and every wall in this guy's house. He had everything from Toy Biz action figures, Spawn, Predator, Lord of the Rings, a lot of Lord of the Rings stuff. And I don't remember seeing Star Wars, but I'm sure he has some Star Wars in there. Just a ton of collectibles. At that time, I really didn't know what I know now when it comes to toy collecting. I knew what I knew as a child, and very little from there, and I just knew if I spotted Spider-Man and Wolverine, like that's kind of what I would want to purchase. Well, while I was there, I'm going to show you this video. Started digging through this guy's stuff. It was everywhere, like a sea of toys just all over the place. And what I discovered is I saw, man, I can make most of Spider-Man's villains. I could get most of Spider-Man and his villains. So I picked out, I think it was Spider-Man, Venom, Carnage, Vulture, Dr. Octopus, Rhino, Shocker, who else was it? Electro. Well, I can't remember all of them. And then I also found this cool Spawn, kind of more of a Spawn statue. And of course, Spider-Man. And like I said, he had a ton of figures. And I really wished, I really wished I knew then what I know now, because I'd have bought everything. However, I didn't know that. And I found, I think it was like 11 or 12, and I was like, man, I'll give you $100. And he was like, deal, you got it, take it and leave. And I got him. And at that time, my wife, my lovely wife, and who I've been with for a very, very long time, would not let me put my action figures out into places where people could see it. So basically, those figures went into a bag and got stored into a closet. From there, we were thinking about building a house, and I said, hey, look, honey, if I build a house, I'm going to have a room for my stuff, and if you don't like it, shut the door. And she was fine with that. And so now I have the Legends room. Well, about that time, I began to think about, man, I want to start collecting action figures, specifically Marvel action figures. And as I started doing research, I'd kind of missed the Toy Biz days. Like I said, I was more into the early line here, the Spider-Man Classics. I was too old for the Toy Biz day. I wasn't too old, I just was busy, like working and getting married and having kids. So anyways, at that point in time, I started researching. I was like, gosh, and this is what's going to be crazy. What I'm about to tell you is crazy. I bought my first action figure. Let's see if I have it here. I'll also show a photo of my very first action figure photo. But this is the first Marvel Legend I ever bought. Far From Home, Spider-Man. Great figure, by the way. And also bought the 12-inch black costume Spider-Man. That started it for me. Like, that made me really want to begin collecting every Marvel Legend. Actually, my first interest wasn't Marvel Legends immediately. It was actually Toy Biz. And I started thinking about Toy Biz, and then I discovered the McFarlane Spider-Man. Like, I don't know if you can see, but like McFarlane hangs on my wall. I'm a huge McFarlane fan. This McFarlane Spider-Man right here. Posters on my wall. Is my favorite type of artist. Like most of us in the 90s, loved Todd McFarlane's artwork. Specifically for me, Spider-Man's artwork. And I did enjoy Spawn, but specifically Spider-Man. And when I saw that Toy Biz McFarlane Spider-Man, which is really, a Campbell, I got it. You don't have to correct me in the comments. I understand that. But to me, it was the best Spider-Man action figure, bar none. And I love the style. I love the grittiness. And I started hunting for this McFarlane Spider-Man, but I would look, and it was like $70, $80, $150, $400 mint on card. I was like, I can't do that. I can't pay that. And eventually got to where we were building the house, and I remembered I had this bag of action figures, and I could not believe it. I went to that bag of action figures and I pulled out what I already had all along, which was a McFarlane Spider-Man. This one right here to be exact, this specific one. Man, look at that detail. Isn't that remarkable? Just gritty and ripped, but butterfly joints here, you know, I just love that. Love the way these butterfly joints work. And he can get into the 4-point pose, Spider-Man can, and it's just incredible. Well, I had it all along. It was in that group of figures that I had bought from that guy that day. And like I said, I really wished I'd have known what I was missing out on, because I'd have bought every Toy Biz figure that he had. I did eventually reach back out to him. He was like, hey, some guy in Texas bought all of it off of me at once that was left. And there was some great stuff in there, some really, really amazing stuff. Like he had Spider Hulk. And if I'd only known then what I know now. I realized that I had that McFarlane Spider-Man, and now I kind of army build McFarlane Spider-Man. And I'm a big fan of McFarlane Spider-Man, just love it. So I began to army build McFarlane Spider-Man. I would look for deals, I would trade for them, and get all that I can. I have 13 of the lighter red and blue McFarlane Spider-Mans. Of course, there's others that carry that label, the darker red and blue, and then there's also some that have the body but not the same head design. And that really began my Marvel Legends collection, which is now, you know, bloomed to, I don't know, 400 or 500 action figures, which I really enjoy collecting. Really, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this Marvel Legends story time with Spidey Jew 09. And I hope that you'll come back. I hope that you'll keep watching as I keep delivering content that's just fun and lighthearted. Like I said, I'm Spidey Jew 09 and I'm your friend. And I hope that you guys have a marvelous afternoon.